Guten Morgen, Studenten. Good morning, students. Ich heiße Eric. My name is Eric, and I am the German 1 tutor here at Fresno City College. Today we're going to be talking about descriptive adjective, so descriptive adjectives. And so what is a descriptive adjective? Descriptive adjectives are adjectives that describe people, places, things, or ideas. The adjectives we will discuss are those that describes people's personalities and physical appearance. Descriptive adjectives get placed with certain endings depending on the case, gender, and the article that it precedes, or that precedes it. Note that they get different endings compared to possessive adjectives. This is because they function differently and tell different information. So don't confuse the endings for the possessive adjectives for the endings for the descriptive adjectives. With that said, use an adjective with no added endings after the verb sein, werden, and bleiben. When you use an adjective before a noun, you need to include the appropriate adjective ending. If multiple adjectives precede the same noun, they all must take the same ending. Alright? So, what are the different endings depending on whether der precedes? So here I've set this up in the slides so that you can see, okay, I've got a noun, that's der, obviously that's going to be a masculine noun. And in between we're going to have an adjective. So here we have a couple of, so klein. So recall that klein means short, okay? So in stature, not necessarily short as in length like hair. That would be Kürze. So we have kleine, so der kleine Mann, die kleine Frau, das kleine Haus, die kleinen Kinder. So if we notice here, let me go ahead and open my drawing board. Oop. If we notice here about these endings is that so far I have E after the adjective or en. So going back to here, I have E, 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 en. En, E, E, en. En, 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 en. En, 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 en. So as far as der words are concerned, it looks like I have a little bit of a Oklahoma going on right here. So if I had to draw that in the chart, so from nominative, accusative, dative, genitive, I've got the en. Oh, E. Apologize. Oh. Masculine, feminine, nominative, plural. So here I've got E, 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 en, en, E, E, en, 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 and then here we have en, 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 en. So right here, I've got a little Oklahoma of E's to remember. So as far as the der words are concerned, everything either gets an E or an en, and I can remember where those positions are. So if it's in the nominative case, it should get an E after the adjective. So klein becomes kleine. Der kleine Mann. And that correlates specifically with nominative. But what if it was in the accusative? Then this would become not just der kleine Mann, now it must become den kleinen Mann, if we were to go into the accusative case. So, but wait a minute, what about the ein words? Is right here, if we go to the ein words, so now we have different endings. Here we can see with a masculine, ein kleiner Mann. It gets an ER, much like the ending for der for masculines. So why is that? Why are the adjective endings changing? Well, really it's because a man, a woman, a house. It doesn't give us enough information, at least in German, to just say ein klein Mann. You must input the information of what case it's in. So ein kleiner Mann, einen kleinen Mann, einem kleinen Mann, eines kleinen Mann. So as we can see is that what Germans have done is that if we have an indefinite article, we need to put in the extra information onto the adjective for the noun that we are modifying. The same thing over here. Eine kleine Frau. Eine kleine Frau. Einer kleinen Frau. Einer kleinen Frau. Now notice, these forms are very similar, and these forms are very similar. Oh wait, we're missing all these plurals right here. Well, actually, if you look into the back of your book, in the appendix, I believe it's A6, is that you will find that there's actually forms of those. And also, we have a third type, which is unpreceded. So there's no preceding article. There's neither der or ein. So here we have black as the black coffee, so schwarzer Kaffee. Accusative, schwarzen Kaffee. Schwarzem Kaffee. Frische Luft. Frische Luft. Frischer Luft. Kaltes Wasser. Kaltes Wasser. Kaltem Wasser. Kleine Kinder. Kleine Kinder. Kleinen Kinder. So, essentially, what you need to be aware of is what adjective ending should I put on whenever I do these. So let's go ahead and do some examples on my drawing board. So, Heike und Karl kochen einen schwarzen Kuchen. So here is the subject. Subject must always be in the nominative case. Who is cooking? Heike und Karl. Subject, nominative. Kochen, always, 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 verb, second position. Now, einen Kuchen, einen schwarzen Kuchen, which means that this must be, Kuchen means cake, so this must be the direct object area, this little bunch right here. If it's a direct object, we know that that's accusative. So, and the dead giveaway was einen. Kuchen is der Kuchen. So that's why here it says einen. And also, if we go back to those charts, if this is einen, that's an ein. So I go to my chart. Einen, so en should go on to whatever the adjective is, which is actually follows right here. Schwarzen. So a black cake. So einen schwarzen Kuchen. Let's take another example. What if it was a der word? So Heike und Karl kochen der Schwarzkuchen. So what should go right here? Well, I simply go to my chart. I know that this right here, subject, nominative, that hasn't changed. This hasn't changed. Direct object area hasn't changed. What are they cooking? So we're changing this to the black cake. Alright, so this still retains der Kuchen. So I need to go to my chart. Well, if it's in the accusative, den kleinen Mann. So this accusative must, for masculine, always change to den. Alright? So that means that here, this must change to den. This must change to schwarzen. So be very careful about which case you're in, what is preceding the adjectives, and be very sure of what your article is. And that's all there is to it.